Trinity's trapped in visions, her bond with Reece weakening as warlocks claim her. Reece, seeing fear in Ezekiel's eyes, avoids their trap. He tracks them to ruins via a mysterious box, finding they're using blood magic to steal Trinity's power and sever their bond. He and Juniper prepare to attack. What fear did Reece see? What's in the box? What power do they want? What information does Reece have? Will they stop the ritual? Will Trinity remember Reece if the bond breaks? Reece and Juniper moved swiftly through the ruins, their senses sharp, ready to strike. The warlocks had been here. Magic lingered in the air, thick and oppressive. But something was wrong. Too quiet, too still. Then, without warning, a wave of invisible force slammed into them. Reece barely had time to register the shift before his vision blurred, the world twisting into darkness. His wolf howled in alarm, but it was too late. The warlocks had laid their trap. His body collapsed, yet his mind was somewhere else. Reece found himself standing in the middle of a vast open field, golden under the light of a setting sun. But this place, he knew it. It was his childhood home, the training grounds of his old pack. The scent of pine and the distant howl of his former packmates filled the air. His chest tightened. "Reece, you're hesitating," a booming voice called out. He turned sharply. His father, Alpha Darius, stood before him, arms crossed, his expression stern. A young version of himself, barely 16, was sparring against a much larger packmate. The younger Reece stumbled, panting, while his opponent loomed over him, victorious. "You lost because you hesitated. Do it again," Darius barked. Reece's breath hitched. This was a memory, one of his most painful ones. But why was he reliving it now? Meanwhile, Juniper gasped as the world around her fractured. She was no longer in the ruins either. She stood in the middle of a vast, snow-covered clearing. Her heart pounded. No, not here. The frozen ground was stained red with blood. She knew this place well. It was where she had lost her brother. A figure stood in the distance, back turned to her. Her breath caught in her throat. "Gale?" she whispered. Slowly, the figure turned, revealing the face of her older brother, his eyes hollow and accusing. "You let me die." Juniper stumbled back, shaking her head. "No, I tried to save you." But Gale only stepped closer. "You ran." The words hit her like a physical blow. Juniper's hands clenched into fists. "No, this isn't real. You're not real." A sudden whisper echoed around her. "But your guilt is." The warlock's spell had ensnared them both, trapping them in their worst memories, in their deepest regrets. And unless they found a way to break free, they would be lost in the past forever. Reece gritted his teeth, forcing himself to focus. He knew this was an illusion, but it felt too real. His father's voice, the scent of sweat and earth, it pulled at him, trying to keep him trapped. His younger self in the sparring ring charged again, only to be knocked down once more. Darius shook his head, his disappointment palpable. "Strength isn't just power," his father said. "It's knowing when to act and when to wait. But hesitation in battle means death." Reece clenched his fists. "I know that. I've always known that." Darius raised a brow. "Then why are you still here?" The words stopped Reece cold. His mind reeled. Why am I still here? The memory flickered. The warlock's spell was strong, but his father's words had given him something, a crack in the illusion. He focused on the truth, on the present. He wasn't a weak 16-year-old anymore. He was an alpha, and he had something waiting for him outside this nightmare. "This isn't real," he growled, pushing against the illusion with sheer willpower. And I refused to stay trapped. The world around him trembled, and for a moment, he saw something beyond the illusion. Dark figures chanting, their hands raised in spellcasting. The warlocks. Juniper panted, her mind spinning. Her brother's form still loomed before her, his voice a broken whisper. "You left me." Tears burned in her eyes. "I had no choice." Gale's face twisted into something monstrous, his eyes darkening. The illusion was trying to consume her. If she gave in to the guilt, she would be lost. She inhaled sharply, closing her eyes. "You're not real," she whispered. "You're not him." The air around her wavered. A deep, guttural laugh echoed in her mind. "You cannot escape." But Juniper was done being afraid. With a defiant growl, she reached inside herself, tapping into her instincts, her truth. Her brother was gone, but she was still here. She would fight for the living. Her eyes snapped open. The illusion shattered like glass. She gasped as she returned to reality. The ruins, the warlocks, the dim glow of magic, they all came rushing back. And beside her, Reece collapsed to his knees, gasping for breath. They had broken free. Juniper staggered to her feet, gripping Reece's arm. "Reece, we have to move." Reece blinked, his body still trembling from the effects of the spell, but then his eyes sharpened and his jaw set in determination. The warlocks had tried to trap them in their pasts, to break them with guilt and fear. But all they had done was ignite their fury. Reece stood, his golden eyes blazing. "We end this. Now." Now, free from the trap, Reece and Juniper stand ready to confront the warlocks, their eyes blazing anger. The warlocks' attempt to paralyze them with fear had failed, and now they would pay the price. The air crackled with anticipation, the tension thick as the magic that permeated the ruins. The true battle was about to begin. What new strategies will the warlocks employ now that their illusion has failed? How deeply has the illusion affected Reece and Juniper? Will the trauma of their forced memories hinder them in the coming fight? Or will it fuel their determination? Will Trinity be able to fight against the warlock's influence now that Reece and Juniper have broken free? Now that Reece and Juniper know the warlock's true location, will they be able to free Trinity before more harm is done?
Hey, I am Trinity. Want to know what happens next? Then click the link in the description below and download the Pocket FM app and listen to the exciting episodes of Chosen by Fate, Rejected by the Alpha.